Okay, so the homework today, or yesterday, sorry, was basically to do some rearranging. And some people found this quite hard. So let's go through some examples here. So from question 1 on the homework, it gave you the example 5 minus wx equals vx plus 4. Okay, and we want to end up with x as the subject. Okay, so what do we do first? So the first thing we want to do, we want to get all of the x's onto one side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add wx to this side and add wx to that side. So when I do that, I'm going to get 5. Okay, I have minus and plus, so they cancel each other out. Now I've got vx plus wx plus 4. Okay. Right. Now, this 4, nothing to do with my x, so I'm going to move that. So I'm going to subtract that 4 from this side, which means I have to subtract the 4 from that side. So now I'm going to have 5 minus 4 on this side. And now I'm going to have vx plus wx. And that 4 has been subtracted. So now it looks like this. Okay, well, 5 minus 4, we can rewrite that. 5 minus 4 is just 1. Okay, so we've got 1 equals vx plus wx. Great. Okay, now I want to get x on its own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factorize. Okay, because both of these terms are being multiplied by x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the x as a common factor outside of brackets. So I've factorized it. So that means I've got x times v, so x times v plus x times w, x times w. So now I've got x outside of the common factor. And I've still only got 1 on this side. So now to get x on its own, all I need to do is divide by bracket. Okay, I can divide by the whole bracket here. So I'm going to get my 1, and I'm going to divide that by this bracket, which is v plus w. There you go. I've got x equals 1 divided by v plus w. Remember, it has to be written like a fraction because I'm dividing 1 by the sum of v and w. Okay, so that's one example. Let's do one more. Okay, so here we've got 4 wx minus v equals 9x plus v. So again, we've got x on both sides, and we want to end up with x on its own at the bottom. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to need to do the same thing and get the x on one side. So we're going to need to expand these brackets. So we'll expand the 2 brackets. Remember, using arrows to remind yourself that to do both terms. So I get 4wx minus 4v equals 9x plus 9v. Okay, so now I want to get my x on the same side again. So I'm going to subtract this 9x and subtract 9x from here. And I'm also going to add this v, because I don't want the v's. So I'm going to add 4v and add 4v. Right, so what does that get me? So I've still got my 4wx. Okay, I've subtracted 9x. I've added 4v, so they have cancelled out. That's gone now. 9x has been subtracted. I've still got 9v. Now I've added another 4v. Now all of my x are on this side. Okay, well, again, I've got 9v plus 4v, and I can simplify that. I can just make that 13v. Okay. So now, again, like before, I can see that x is multiplying both of these terms. So I'm going to factorize. Okay, so I'm going to write x outside the brackets. Okay, so now I've got x times 4w. I've got 4w minus x times 9, x times 9. Okay, Now again, I can divide by the whole bracket to get x on its own. So I've got 13v over here. And now I'm going to divide by the whole bracket, which is 4w minus 9. And remember, don't write this with a division sign, write it as a fraction, because this is being divided by the product of all of this. Okay, so that's what question 1 looked like. Okay, so hopefully that's a bit clearer. Now let's do one of the question 2 ones, which are a bit harder. Let's see. So we've got y equals 9x minus 8 divided by 2x minus 13. So now I've got an x in the numerator and the denominator. But I still want the same thing. I still want to end up with x equals something. So what do we do first? Remember we did this? I've got an x here in the denominator. So I'm going to multiply by the denominator. Okay, and I'm going to imagine that's a bracket and I'm going to multiply by that. So when I do that, that means I'm going to end up with y times that bracket. Okay, and on the right hand side, because I divided by 2x minus 13 and now I've multiplied by 2x minus 13, I'm just left with 9x minus 8. Make sure you understand that point because that's very important. Okay, now again, I've got x's, but they're in brackets, so I need to expand this out. So I'm going to expand my brackets. So I get 2xy, I've just done in an alphabetical order, that's all, minus 13y, and that's equal to 9x minus 8. Now again, I've got x's on both sides. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to subtract 9x from this side, and I'm going to subtract 9x from that side. I don't want this y over here because I only want x's. So I'm going to add 13y here, and I'm going to add 13y there. So I've got my 2xy. I'm going to take away 9x. I had a negative 13y. I've added 13y, so that's gone. That 9x has been subtracted. I've added 13y, and I've still got a minus 8. Right, so I've got my x on one side, that's good. Now, x is multiplying both of these things again. So I need to factorize. So x outside some brackets, and that's equal to my 13y minus 8. Just be clear. Going from this, that's it. Right, so now x is multiplying 2y. X is multiplying 2y minus x is multiplying 9. So x is multiplying 9. Okay, so now I've got x on its own, but I just need to divide by, again, the whole bracket. So what I'm going to get is I'm going to get my 13y minus 8, which I had, divide by the whole bracket. Again, remember, write this as a fraction, 2y minus 9. Okay, I hope this step's clearer, or you've brought back what we did at the end of last term. If you've already tried the My Maths homework, just try it again. Remember, click on My Results, and it will let you try it as many times as you want.